Hello, it's Sam. It's time for LocalSupport client meeting prep. Let's get screen shared. Let's get our screen share on. Client meetings, that's where we want to be. Meeting 58, we need a new client meeting page, which we would create over here, I think. Is that right? Yes, it is. So it's going to be meeting 59. Boom, boom. Get that done and edit it and okay. So I think what I shall just do quickly, if I can, is that I wonder how we're doing with the old document editor. Ooh, is it not working at all? That would suck kind of badly. No, just being slow. Right. Oh yes, meeting 58. Let's grab that, copy and close that. Oh, it's down the page. Yeah, just remember 58, 59. That is now done, and that was marked done last week. Rachel was testing agenda. Pivotal, I guess it's invitations. We had notes from user testing. Right, still outstanding. Action items for Sam there. Let's bring those up. Okay, and yep, I think we've got those in there. Yep. Right. So that's the key. That's the key stuff. Yeah, that's the key stuff there. That I don't think any changes needed on that page. I think that's it. So the key issue really has been this invitation stuff, or that just kind of failed to work. I mean, as in the emails failed to work on Ninefold for us because we hadn't got that set up correctly. Oh, I'm on this page now. I'm on this page. I want to be on. No, I don't want to be on that page. I want to be on. Well, I want to be on organizations without users. So I'm just rerunning our Agile Ventures invite users. That's now going green, which is good. We're receiving an email, hopefully, or we will. And I just had a problem there with the link in the email that I hopefully will now be working. Yeah, there it comes in. Let's have a look at that. We'll go in there. The invitation, that looks correct. Copy link location. Let's go. No, not there. Over to. I don't know. Let's. Random page. Who knows? Let's go over here. Ooh. Okay. So this is an incoming. Set our password and set the password, and we're in. Close. Yes. And so, as I suspected, right, the creative volunteer opportunity is there. Right, it has kind of been deployed. Right. Yeah, as suspected. Create a volunteer opportunity. Just telling people in local support. Oh, did I start talking that? So it seems that. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, that was. I just wanted to cancel button. I just want. I don't want to be in the editor. That's weird. Okay, that was the invite there. So the creator volunteer opportunity button has been deployed. since I didn't comment that out. Yeah, so, hey John.
Hey Sam.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Well, I've got a bit of an ongoing stomach flu, but hopefully it's on the tail end of it, fingers crossed. Yeah, so I'm a bit, yeah, a little bit worse for wear. But I'm very pleased to have got the invitation emails working on the ninefold this morning, so that makes up for it.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I'm just making the notes here. Yeah, so I've got that invitation working. That's the main thing. So yeah, in principle, I would start. Well, what I've done is I've got ninefold over here. Where is it? I've got all the different bits and pieces. So I've got the production system. But it was all about setting an environment variable. Oh, one thing was that we were getting so I've just got this working now. So this is the working thing, but we were, so this is now working and giving us the green, invited, what have you. But when it was failing due to the underlying email stuff not being in place, I was seeing the error in the console as a 500 server error, but I didn't see anything in the interface. So I guess it would. Anyway, I mean, it's sort of fixed now, but do you know what I mean? Like, I guess we're doing a JSON request here, yeah.
Yeah. Any chance you can see the server logs, or is that?
Yeah. So I know I did. I mean, ultimately, I got access to the server logs, and it was this issue that with an environment variable that
Oh.
we had set on Heroku but had not set on Ninefold, and so now that's set. Everything is working. What I'm just doing now that I've got it working on production is I could just get the same thing set up on staging, and then what I would potentially do next is review your pull request and for the invitations bug, and at least deploy it to staging, and then run a test. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually doing one more thing to it, although it's workable in the state it's currently in.
Oh, should I leave off?
No, it's more like a logic thing, where it works the way it is, but what it needs is an object extracted out of it.
Okay.
So I was doing that
Right.
just, well, last night, and gonna
Yeah.
pick it up now.
Okay. So I guess in some ways, given that I already reviewed it, I guess, so what I should be able to see here is maybe the changes since when did we last speak about this? That was on Wednesday the 7th. So, okay, right, yeah. So you've done, yeah, there's a few things.
Well, unfortunately, I'm a server commit spammer when I have to run off and do things or
Sure.
other things come up.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, I was sort of, I'm more surprised there that there are not more commits before then, but no, I see Raphael's in there and so on. I guess what I want to be able to do is like get an overview of the commits of this set here. Or maybe I should just go and do. Let's go and see if I can find a suitable.
I mean, you could. Is there a way to compare branches between remotes? Because you could check out
Yeah.
what you saw, then push it to your repo, and then
Yeah, I mean here.
to it. And if you're lucky, GitHub will give you a diff that isolates those two.
Yeah, if I've got invitations bug there, I think that's. that looks like, yeah, I've got here. So if I do git push origin invitations bug, yeah. So what I'd like to be able to, I mean, I can also do git fetch John. I guess what I would like to be doing is here comparing this one. I mean, I guess I can do here git diff John invitations, like that, and it will tell me the things that were changed. But of course, without, I think there's a way to get a colorized diff. I wonder, can we do that easily? Colors, colorized. Or we can just get rid of colorized diff. Colorized diff on the command line. Ooh. Color diff. And then I'll just, yeah, we could do, can we do it into Vim like that? There you go. Oh right, I think it's colorizing it in terms of the diff, not as Ruby formatting. But yeah, it might be easier to look at it if I just, I think, like this, and just be doing it from here and sort of start again. I mean, I guess the feature, the cucumber feature hasn't changed, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I explicitly avoided changing it.
Yeah.
Because Cucumber is for the UI. So
right.
The backend issue. What you'll see is for acceptance level tests, I added more in the request spec.
Right.
That's the first place you want to look for some acceptance tests.
Yeah. Well, as usual, I always want to get my brain in gear. I want to look at the feature to remind myself what is the high-level thing that we're doing. And I think I remember from our conversation last week that we worked out actually it's sort of split across two different things. So there's the admin approve user feature. No. Oh no, that's what I'm pending there. User reports, invited users page. Right. So yeah, this is like seeing things in that page, and then we've got here, so admin can invite users, and so on. And yes, was one issue that we looked at here was that it didn't go through. No, that seems to. I thought I was looking at something. I guess was it. Why do I keep opening that one? Go away. Here. This one. No. What am my brain doing? Right. This one had the presumption that someone that had invited a user, but the actual flow of the user being invited was in here, so that's tested there. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so we've got this. I guess that's. Yeah. So this is changes to the way that background step now works to kind of do the invite behind the scenes. But then you're saying I should look at a request spec.
Yeah. Request / would be what I would search for.
Right.
Or,
invitation spec. Here we go. Right. So let's have a look at that. So this is going to be volunteer ops spec. No, that's different. We're different feature. Invitation spec. Right. So, okay, so this is checking that we get the expected things of security, right?
I don't think you have my code. Neither of those are the. I had 2 blocks that were old and.
I mean, I've done git fetch, John, to get
You need
your.
to do a pull. Fetch is broken in my opinion.
I don't know. It's always worked in the past.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm in a. Usually, if I've fetched and then I've gone in there, but if we look at the code.
You're missing that entire describe block.
Right. Oh, is that possible? Oh yeah, no, I'm here. I'm in the wrong. Hold on. Go on. Must be recent. This is my usual. Oh, go on. Local. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So that's right. That seems. Okay, right. So. Right. This is doing. Having done a post, has an email being generated.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is checking, right, that the association set right has been. Yes. I mean, it seems to me, is this not doing the same thing that some of the Cucumber tests are doing?
Not really. I mean, the Cucumber is visiting a UI.
Right.
The UI doesn't really know a lot of things.
No.
It's not intelligent. I want to ask if the database increased by 1.
Right, has been actually updated. But so at the moment, we just check the response from the JSON. This is not going on to check that the individual user can then log in.
Right.
With that you know. But so I guess we don't have a Cucumber feature which is stepping through that login process, or
We do.
I think right. So now what would that be under? Is that's the invites or the?
It might actually be tucked into this feature here. If you scroll further down.
Right. We've got invited user clicking on the email with cookie policies. Right. So we've got an assumption there about one user being invited. So yeah, we've got the 2 halves, as it were, split across 2 scenarios there, but they're not actually linked up. They're assuming. That's interesting. So we've kind of got different pieces, and then we've got this one linking them. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like we've got the 2 halves there, which are relying upon this being, implemented. We're relying upon the results of this being this, right? And then as a consequence, these ones working in the right way, and then we've got that kind of being covered underneath by this, given that the request comes in, that the things are set up correctly. Yes. Yeah, that's an interesting arrangement. I don't know if that's ideal in the long run.
It's just that the UI isn't going to be smart enough at the end of the day to really know what went wrong. If we want an acceptance level test that is telling us where in the system there is a failure, we should just talk to our backend directly with some tests. Because the UI is like, okay, so I tried to generate a user. Where did it go?
Right.
Oh, well, actually, what happened is that the email got downcased.
Yeah.
Stuff like that I feel it's just going to slip through, and we would have to generate a whole bunch of UI steps, like running around, maybe searching for it, and then You know,
Yeah, although
this is,
I think I mean, my preference would be that rather than catching these things in a test at this level, that all of this was bubbled up into the UI. Do you know what I mean? So if their failure was that there was a down case or what have you, or as we were in this case today, like with
but see, that's not a failure. This is something where devices or I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just basic device functionality. If you try
no,
to
no,
sign up with an
sure,
email
sure, but like
with capital letters in it, it'll just automatically let you do that and give it to you all downcased.
sure, right. But I mean, for example, one could be displaying both the user email and the organization email in the interface. So that
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty redundant 95%
sure,
of the time,
yeah.
though, and I don't think it'll ever get
One
appreciated.
could even be checking for, but I think not so much the upcase downcase thing, so much as I'm more thinking of yeah. I mean, I think actually this is exactly what I got here. With an attempt to do this, there was an error on the server, and we. I mean, I just like in general, I would love to be pulling out that information, whatever kind of error it is. And clearly, there are going to be some cases, like corner cases, that it doesn't make sense to contort the user interface in knots in order to display everything to the user. But I think that's I would tend to lean on the side of wanting to create a scenario that was like a jumbo scenario that did that sequence all through in one go here. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure what sequence you're talking
Well,
about.
I'm talking about the sequence of like an admin, like you could have here, like given I'm signed in as the admin, you could go through the process of creating the organization, and then in the scenario, you could have, I log out, and now click through on the invitation link, and so on, and I get to the correct charity page. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way, at least I thought you were going to say to log out, then or maybe not log out, but switch over to the other report and look for the user there. I don't think, but you just said something about clicking on the email, which we don't actually have a way
Yeah, we
with
do. We
Cucumber
do
to
that.
actually.
We do
We
that.
do, but we have a fake way of where we, if you look at
Right,
the
right.
step
Well, I mean,
definitions
I
for
think it's
that.
one of the biggest problems that particularly with the emails things, yeah, that we're not. I mean, one could stand up a server and do this and the other, but no more. What I guess what I'm saying is that I'm thinking about it from the user flow side of thing, and from where I'm coming from, like the flow of activity through what I'm seeing here. For me, I see this big top level user story which says admin tries to invite user should receive email, user clicks through and gets the thing that they want, and they're able to log in a certain sequence of steps, and it's kind of smooth and easy. And like from the client's side, that's to a degree that's all they really care about, right? That works. Do you know what I mean? That's the whether it's squirrels in the back end or whatever. That's the key thing, right? And so what I'm would love to see is that replicated at the top level, like that expression of what the client really wants is described there in relatively plain English. Now, what it seems to me that what we've got is across a couple of different scenarios, we've got a couple of parts of that, that flow, right? And then in the invitation spec, I mean, very nicely done. We've got sort of connections between those bits, if you know what I mean.
I
And
mean, I do know what you mean, but you're going to actually have to write for me the scenario that you want to see, and
oh
I
yeah,
can
no,
implement it, but I
I'm
just
not,
don't see the place where it would be.
I'm not saying automatically that we have to change what we've got at the moment. I'm speculating in my head about. I almost always want to draw a diagram here on a piece of paper. I wonder if I can just do it in Google Drive. Um, I guess I'm not experienced enough with this. I just want to draw it. And go on. Let's have a. like, I mean, I think we all agree that that there are advantages and disadvantages of different sorts of tests. What I'm trying to do, what it feels like there is we've got, like, in this overall flow from, I don't know, if we start here with this is admin inviting user, and then we've got here we've got user clicking through on email, and there's a sort of a series of steps in here that it's kind of maybe ridiculous for me to draw individually, but you know what I mean. Like, we've got these two high-level features, right? And as we were discussing, the admin inviting user, it makes sure that the interface, as far as Cucumber is concerned, is doing what it's supposed to do, right? And then what we've also got is this acceptance test that you've written, or so in the acceptance test, or integration test, I would almost say, in the RSpec, and this one is going through. I guess it's like there's several of them, and so this is like given request received on the back end, is user created, is email sent, several of those things, right, are all checked independently, and so on. And so I'm seeing we've got full coverage, right, which is very reassuring, right? Like all the different pieces, and I get the question mark in my head that I don't have a good answer for is there some chink that we're not covering as a consequence of doing it in this fashion? Do you know what I mean? Like stepping up and down, backwards and forwards.
Right. Well, the thing is that your two arrows on the top you would like, ideally, I feel like, to have them connect.
Yeah, it would be nice to feel that the whole. I mean, because the thing is, at the moment, in particular, I mean, maybe I can't avoid this. Is that, and partly the problem we ran into last week is, I have to do the entire sequence manually every time we deploy some new part of this. Do you know what I mean? Like that's. I mean, and I maybe I just can't get it because like actually the problem that we encountered this time was to do with configuration of the server, and there'll be other things in future, whatever. But it's cumbersome to do a manual test of this process every time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe there's no way around it. I guess I'm in some ways looking back to when we used to use Selenium to drive a real browser, and we set up a fake mail server. This was back in Hawaii on a system, and so we had automated in a rather brittle fashion this whole process going through, and maybe that's just not practical to do that entire line, and this is our best option, perhaps. Do you know? Anyway, I mean, I'm not. I guess I'm not necessarily saying anything extraordinarily important, but does it make sense, at least, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if it could be completely stepped through all in one flow.
Yeah, and I wonder. I mean, maybe that would be better done in RSpec, or better done in Cucumber, or.
I just don't think it's, unless, like you said, in Hawaii, standing up a mail server to catch the email.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, I feel. I mean, I guess the other thing that I feel is that. I mean, there's there's diminishing returns as we kind of stretch towards how many contortions we put ourselves through to replicate the entire sequence. And so, for example, for me, I mean, I guess I'm feeling, that at least if the system, checks that Rails has done its business to try and send an email, and then we check, the link that's generated as, what Rails generates the link to go into the system, then that's kind of reasonable effort. I think the other thing is that what I'm really, really keen is for other developers coming into the system in the future to see this as as an integrated whole. You know what I mean? Rather than seeing it as three different separate things, which is the impression that they might get as a result of the current description in the document. The cucumber is to a degree the documentation of how the system operates.
Yeah, because the
Your audio. So your audio just broke out there for.
okay, because the UI isn't going to know everything,
Mm.
I don't think we can have whether we test the UI in RSpec or in Cucumber.
Mm.
I don't think we're going to have a complete test in the UI. I think we're always going to have to drop into the backend for.
Oh, sure.
This
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, the question is there though. The question that might come up there. I mean, I think I agree with you on that. The question that might come up there is, does the place where we drop into the backend, does it need to actually hit the database? I mean, maybe with Devise it does because we haven't got any other way for handling it. But so here, like. This is basically doing the invitation and then checking that the email that comes out. I guess this is an integration test with Devise then. This is exercising the whole Devise path. So yeah, that's definitely worth having. Yeah. Yes, I mean it's when I see Factory Girl in specs generally makes me nervous because I always wonder is there not a fast way to do things where we've mocked and stuff out, but clearly in this case.
Well, we don't want to mock and stub ourselves into oblivion.
Well, clearly. There are many people saying no, it's true. Although, yeah,
I mean, these tests run really fast. It takes way less time than Cucumber actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just something about the way Cucumber.
Yeah, no, Cucumber is definitely much slower.
Run.
So, yeah.
Connected from the database. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to need to go up to the client meeting. So, which maybe you'll join me for, and potentially, if we can finish the client meeting fast, we can. What I'd like to do is finish the review of this. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm feeling comfortable about this request spec. If we can finish this up, I'd like to get this on the staging server, and in order to do a manual test of it today, if possible. Anyway, yeah, I better get a pair of some trousers on so I can be presentable for this one. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
All right, bye for now.
Bye-bye.